Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to jump into a fantastic topic, and it's perfect for your next language exchange, the Japanese philosophy of tidying up. Trust me, it's about way more than just cleaning your room, and we're going to get into exactly why.
So here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off with the whole KonMari phenomenon. Then we'll dig into why tidying is actually a spiritual practice in Japan. After that, we'll uncover its deep philosophical roots, and we'll wrap up with a little toolkit to help you discuss all of this yourself.
All right, let's kick things off with a name that has literally made its way into dictionaries all over the world, KonMari. I mean, how did that even happen? It all boils down to this one simple question, right? Does it spark joy? This phrase from Marie Kondo just completely captured the world's imagination. And get this, the impact was so massive that her method, KonMari, is now a verb in English. People don't just tidy up anymore, they KonMari their entire houses. It's just a wild linguistic and cultural shift when you think about it.
Which really makes you wonder, right? Why? How on earth did a method for organizing your sock drawer become this massive global movement? Well, the answer, as we're about to find out, goes way, way deeper than just cleaning.
Well, the reason it resonated so deeply with so many people is because in Japan, tidying isn't just another chore you have to do, it's actually seen as a spiritual practice, kind of like a mental detox. Let's break that down.
You see, for a lot of us in the West, tidying is just a physical thing, a chore we gotta get done. But in the Japanese view, there's this direct connection. A cluttered room reflects a cluttered mind. So when you're cleaning your space, you're actually clearing out your thoughts. And here's the thing that really changes your perspective. The goal isn't just to shove your stuff into a closet. No, it's this quiet, personal ritual. The act of deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. That's really about facing your past attachments and figuring out what's truly important to you, right here, right now. It's all about clarifying your life's priorities.
This whole tidying craze didn't just pop up out of thin air. It's actually built on the foundations of some very deep, very ancient philosophical ideas.
Okay, first up, we've got a concept called Danshari, and its roots are actually in yoga practices, which is pretty cool. It's a three-part idea. You refuse to bring in new stuff you don't need, you discard the clutter you already have, and you learn to detach yourself from that constant desire for more possessions. It's really less of a technique and more of a journey of self-discovery through letting go.
Then there's this idea from Zen Buddhism called Samu. In Zen temples, daily work, especially things like cleaning, is seen as a kind of active meditation. It's considered just as important as sitting in meditation, or zazen. This whole concept of polishing your environment polishes your mind is so deeply ingrained that it's actually why Japanese students traditionally clean their own classrooms.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, and it explains something that might seem a little odd at first: the practice of thanking objects before you get rid of them. This custom comes from the ancient idea of animism, the belief in 8 million gods, which basically suggests that everything, even your old t-shirt, has a spirit.
And what this creates is, well, it's a really powerful mental shift. By actually holding an item, thinking about the job it did for you, and saying arigato or thank you, you're not just being sentimental, you're completely reframing the act of getting rid of it. It helps you let go of that guilt and part with things on a really positive, grateful note.
So you take all these deep, ancient ideas and you see them play out in a very real, very modern way in Japan, especially with the rise of minimalism. But here, it's not just about aesthetics. It's a form of wisdom, even a survival strategy.
Think about it. Japan is a place that deals with a ton of natural disasters. Earthquakes, typhoons, you name it. In that kind of environment, owning less isn't just a trend, it's practical. Fewer objects means less stuff flying around, less danger during a quake. This idea is even built into traditional Japanese homes, which are all about flexible, empty space. The thinking is pretty simple. Not owning things can actually equal safety and freedom.
All right, so we've got the philosophy, we've got the history. Now, how do you actually talk about all this? Let's get you set up with a little toolkit for your next language exchange.
So, here's some key vocabulary that'll really help you dive in. You can talk about decluttering your room, things that spark joy for you, maybe letting go of your attachment to certain things, the minimalist lifestyle, and how cleaning can even be a form of mindfulness. Definitely try to sprinkle these into your next conversation.
Okay, first question for you, and it's a really good one to get personal with. Think about it. What's that one thing you own that you just could never get rid of because it truly sparks joy?
Could be anything. A book, a photo, maybe a gift. Why is it so special? This is a great way to start sharing some personal stories. And let's talk about the flip side, letting things go. Do you ever feel that little pang of guilt when you throw something away that, well, it still works? That's a super common feeling. This is a fantastic question for exploring cultural differences. Do people in your country tend to donate things, sell them, or just toss them out?
All right, for our last question, let's zoom out a little and think about the big picture. Are you more of a minimalist, with just the essentials, or a maximalist, surrounded by all the things you love? This can kick off a really deep and fascinating chat about our whole culture of consumerism and that basic human desire to own things.
And there you have it. The idea that a tidy room creates a tidy mind it's a really powerful one. So whether you're about to declutter your closet or just organize your thoughts for learning a new language, remember that sometimes letting go of the unnecessary is the best way to make room for what really matters. So yeah, your journey really does start now. Have fun with it.